Hello everyone, welcome back for yet another video on the Starfield Constellation Edition. This is just going to be a quick video, some bits and bobs. People asked a few questions in the comments, so I'm just going to try to answer some of them. Somebody asked to see the credit chip used, so this is what it looks like. I do have a few things covered up for obvious reasons. I do apologize for the reflective glare of the light there. Somebody wants to use this for 3D modeling, go ahead and use that. If you need to pause the video, you can go ahead and pause it. This is the credit chip to use as currency in the game. So like, I don't know, this is like $1 or $5 or whatever they consider it as. They showed it off in the game a bit, and it was also shown off in one of the Settled Systems videos where the guy fights off this young kid fights off this older guy who's attacking this farmer, and the farmer tries to give him money, but he just wants to part in the ship. So it's got some pretty good weight to it. I'd say probably it has the weight of a few gold rings. It's not gold, of course. Yeah, that's the credit chip, whatever they call it in the game. Graphite currency. Yeah, so that's that. Somebody also wanted to see the instruction manual for the controls. So if you need to have a look at this and pause, you can go ahead. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like any of these instructions are in actual English, or... Wait, did I skip a page originally? Oh, that's what happened. So this page... Yeah, okay, so when I looked at it originally, it would open to here. I couldn't see the first page, which is English. Now I can actually see it. So that is English, or British English. So all the controls. So some people were saying, oh, it's going to be a controller-only game. No, this absolutely supports keyboard and mouse, and I'm thankful for that, because aiming with keyboard and mouse is a lot easier. In terms of like flying the ship, I'll probably use a controller. I do have a few lying around. There's other languages here. And warranty information, which nobody ever reads. Yeah, so that's that. And like I previously mentioned in my video, the case is a bit dented here. I did reach out to the PI merchandising from the International Gear Store. Still waiting to hear back in regards to that, so I'm not sure what they'll be doing, but hopefully they get back soon. A few other things I want to go over is the charging block. It is magnetic, so on the bottom of the watch there is a magnet. So this just clamps on the two charging pins at the top here. They just connect precisely right on it, like it hasn't given me any issues. It is micro USB B, which a lot of people aren't happy about, but I think there's a reason why they did it. I think they wanted to make it as slim as possible, and I don't think a USB-C would have fit correctly in this casing. So they probably opted for an older charging connector, which honestly, I did charge the watch in maybe a little over an hour. So that's pretty fast, honestly. I don't know what the battery lifespan is yet. I'm still doing some testing on that, but once I do know, I will be following up with that information. Aside from that, we still have the NATO strap here. So I think one of the reasons they made the charging block so thin is so that the charging block can actually fit underneath the strap without actually having to remove this. Because can you imagine if you had to remove this from the watch every time you wanted to charge the watch? So yeah, I think that's why they they made it thinner. And personally, that's why I think they used the USB type B charger. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's why. Maybe eventually we'll get a straight answer, maybe from Todd Howard or Pete Hines. And also, a few people actually wanted to see the watch itself on my wrist. So here we are. Okay, I'm just going to turn this light off because this is giving way too much glare. That's perfect. So right now I'm running at max brightness. It doesn't get any brighter than this. Yeah. So battery indicator, like I mentioned in my previous video, it's right there at the bottom below the date. Still doing some testing on battery life. It is very comfortable. Feels like any smartwatch feels on the wrist. I'd say it's probably comparable to like a Fitbit or Apple Watch, like in terms of comfort. Like there's no discomfort to it. It comes off pretty quickly. I just want to show one more thing as well, because a few people still had questions in regards to the display pertaining to like the timeout. So if you set the timeout to 0, it'll always be on. On charge, 0, the display will always be on. Auto dim on charge, so it'll dim automatically after a few minutes, or actually, sorry, a few seconds. It'll dim when it's charging. Wake up on face up. You can tap it to wake up. You can twist your wrist to wake it up. And then there's even more flexibility here because you can change the threshold at which point you have to rotate it for it to wake up. And there's your max x-axis, your max y-axis, so rotational. We know this thing has a magnometer because it does provide that detail. And twist timeout, so this is how long before it times out. So I believe that's 1 second or 1,000 milliseconds maybe. I'm not sure. Haven't tested that far into it. But yeah. So like there's definitely a lot of settings you can do here. So yeah. And the other thing, some people were saying the patch looked a little cheap. Personally, it's like any patch, really. They're not cheap. They're not cheap. I feel like it is like somewhat, like it has some reinforcement to it. Like it's not just a one layer. I think it is a double layer patch with the black back part and then the actual first layer. So honestly, this would be honestly pretty cool to actually have on a piece of clothing, but I don't think I'll do it. But yeah, if you guys have any more questions, any feedback, anything, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.